Hello everyone. Right, 1 second. How is everyone? We just thought we would share a few memories from the royal wedding. Now, hopefully you can hear me. I'm just going to check that the volume is working and the sound is working. Can everybody hear me okay? I think the visuals are working, which is a positive. Fantastic. I've had a thumbs up, so brilliant. Okay, great. That is good to know. So we've got no technical issues. For the first time, there does not appear to be any technical issues at the moment. A great idea to start off with a bit of a royal wedding. It's the royal wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle 2 years ago today. I can't begin to tell you how much that shocks me. I can't believe that was 2 years ago. Yeah, too soon, because obviously it's things have changed, things have moved on in 2 years very quickly. Obviously they're technically no longer part of the royal family, but on a positive, it was a magical day, a very, very special day. I'm just going to turn this down because obviously it's quite loud. It's very regal, which I love, but it's a little bit, oh, you're going to get lots of pictures of me behind. But anyway, I will just do a little pause on this video because we can, if you want, at the end of it, I'll play it out for a little bit longer. And as I said, many memories. I was watching this back earlier on, and it just brought back so many memories of a fantastic day. How is everyone? Oh, is the signal suddenly acting up? Can you all hear me and see me okay? Just checking. Shumba is on it. Shumba's here. Here's Shumba. So we've got Shumba here today. Just checking if the signal is okay. Okay, brilliant, fantastic. Yes, Shumba's been trying to help to make sure that the signal stays. Something made me laugh last night, which I've got to quickly share with you all. And I've just seen Charlie is with us, and I think it was Charlie made a comment on the video yesterday because we had a very serious computer glitch, and it resulted in the live video apparently shown live for about 4 or 5 hours. Now, I love talking, I love entertaining. Don't quite think I could do it for 5 hours solid. So just to reassure you, we went live for 5 hours. There was a glitch, and it was only around about 11 o'clock UK time last night that we managed to close it down. So nobody missed anything. All you probably missed was me snoring. I was probably in bed, possibly. So I'm just looking at your comments for today. Oh, somebody spotted an Oscar. Can you see the Oscar? You're absolutely right. Well spotted. That is an Oscar behind us. I see it's an Oscar. Obviously, it's not a real Oscar. But let's not tell Shumba because Shumba thinks it's his Oscar. Shumba, is that your look at the face? Shumba, is that your Oscar behind us? Yes. Are you going to say? You're going to quickly say hello to everybody? I'm not obviously going to keep you because I know you're extremely busy. But do you want to say hi to everybody? Yes. Okay. Just to let you know, tomorrow we're going to be filming a quarantine etiquette normal episode, which I think the plan is to show on Thursday. And obviously, Shumba will once again have his starring role, won't you? So it won't be just you won't be just making guest appearances, will you? Look at the attention. He's already planning his script. Have you read your script? Yes. Do you know what you're doing? Okay, very good. You can see he's very well trained. He does. Somebody's just said he deserves an Oscar. He does deserve an Oscar. He deserves quite a few Oscars. And also, he's very good at keeping us live because, as I've mentioned before, he was up in the roof. Was it 2 nights in a row you on? Was it 2 nights in a row you were on the roof? Yes, 2 nights in a row he was on the roof. So, do you want to quickly say bye to everyone for a second? Yeah, look, he's loving this. He loves fame, doesn't he? Yes, you love fame. Okay, right, I'm going to pop him down for a little second. So, how is everyone? I hope everyone's safe and well. I hope you've all got your cup of tea, your coffee. As it's obviously after 6 o'clock in the UK, I've gone for my regular pink gin and tonic, which I've got here, which is very, very good. I hope you've all got a drink or a gin, a tonic, a coffee, something. Debbie's just said he handles fame well. You have no idea. As soon as he sees a camera, a microphone, anything, he's back. He's back again. Anything to do with media or television, he is there. He's even been on BBC News. I bet many of you didn't know that. I will find the picture and I will share that possibly maybe tomorrow, where he was actually on BBC One News. With me, of course. I can't go anywhere without Shumba. He was with me and he was addressing the nation on Christmas Day, and I think it was again 2 years ago. So, and there's an actual clip of it. So you are quite famous, aren't you? Yes. He just wants to lie. I know you can't really see him, but he's just lying here. So he wants to be in our presence, but he wants to sleep. Are you quite comfortable there? Do you need a drink? Do you need something to eat? No. Okay. Well, he's quite comfy, so that's fine. I hope you're all well. Hope everyone's staying safe around the world. I can see a few regular names that I recognise now. I love hearing where everybody's from because it's a great opportunity for everyone to kind of get together, hopefully get some informative, what do you call it, a bit of homeschooling from my background of what I'm going to obviously demonstrate or discuss, and then a bit of question and answer. And this does seem to work, which is why obviously we keep doing them, because you seem to enjoy them. And we will still do the regular episodes once a week, as I've said. Right, so, and I also just want to say, I love the fact everybody engages in conversations on here. I do see, even though I'm running around, hair, makeup, getting Shumba ready, I see all the comments and everybody engaging and saying hello to each other, and I love it. I love this community that we seem to have built up. So it's fantastic. Charlie, you're absolutely right. Alcohol does. It kills the coronavirus. Yes, I was going to say, somebody told me the other day it doesn't, but you're saying it does. I think that's great. I think any, gin and tonic obviously is for medicinal purposes. Of course, it certainly helps. Thank you. Someone just said they love the breakfast table etiquette. Thank you. I see some of you been looking at my younger days when I was a little bit younger, obviously a bit more fresh-faced when I was about 19, 20, when I did a series called Country House. And some of you, I've noticed, have been looking at it and leaving some fun comments. So thank you for having a look at the videos. There's a lot of videos on my YouTube channel. And do you know what? A lot of you know me as the Royal Butler for obvious reasons, but what many of you don't know is I've been doing television for just over 20 years in the UK, including a few TV series. So on the odd occasion, I sometimes get recognised. If I'm honest, it's more likely Shumba gets recognised these days when I'm out and about. People come up and go, "Oh, look, it's the Royal Dachshund," rather than, "Oh, look, it's the Royal Butler." But there you go. That's fame. Thank you, London Silver Vaults. Someone's just Jones just put about loved me in the London Silver Vaults. Well worth a visit after lockdown. If you're in the UK, definitely visit the London Silver Vaults. And I'm going to take one question because I like this question. Did you always want to be a butler? Ever since I saw Remains of the Day when I was 14 years old, I think 14, 15, I remember thinking that I would like to be a butler. I had two ambitions. One was to either be a member of a royal family, which is obviously quite a very grand idea, and the other was to be a butler. And I think I managed to do both. Sold. Thank you, Shimba. All the Dashants obviously have decided to run off there. I've done the butler, and I've also experienced life within a royal family, so I'm quite lucky. And yes, Charlie, I did dance with Queen Elizabeth II, and she's a very good dancer. Right, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to quickly go on to what we're going to talk about, because otherwise we end up seriously overrunning. And all of you, your day, some of you, your day obviously can't begin until we've done this. Some of you, your day can't finish until we've done this. So I'm aware that I'm holding lots of people up, so I'm going to keep going. Right, somebody said to me about hat etiquette and looking after hats. Very random thing to suggest, but I thought, what a great subject, because again, it's something I understand. I know a little bit about hats, and I thought it'd be quite a fun thing to talk about. So here we have a very smart, if I pick this up, a very smart top hat. Now, this actually belonged to a very dear friend who's no longer with us, but it was worn at many occasions. It's even been worn at Buckingham Palace, I should quickly add. It's been at Buckingham Palace as well. So it's seen some of the grandest homes in the land. Now, for gentlemen and for ladies, hat care is obviously quite important, because we store hats for quite a long time. They should be stored in boxes. Traditionally, a lot of you ladies and gentlemen will know hats were stored in boxes. This would have had a box, and that was the best way for maintaining it, was just to keep it. Once you'd worn it, you'd give it a very gentle brush, and then you'd put it in its box for the next time. Now, when I say a gentle brush, I just lost my brush, but I've now got it back. This is not a hat brush, I'm going to quickly add. It's just a brush that I've got. I've got a few of these. The point of this is it's got very soft bristles, and that's what you wanted. And the idea with brushing a hat was you had to, you didn't do this often, it was not something you'd have to do regularly, because you'd do it, as I said, once you've worn it before you put it away. And it was very much just a very gentle brush round the hat. And what a lot of you will know, if it was a silk top hat as well, the idea is that you go with the fabric. So you make sure you're not brushing again. So always go with the fabric as you go around. This is quite good, because this is a table brush. I've never used it for a table, I'll quickly add. I have used it for hats. I've got another one for the table, but it comes in very handy for giving the hats just a very quick brush down. And as I said, you're very gentle. You don't have to be rough with this, and you just obviously go over the whole hat and just make sure that it looks nice and fresh, and then you pop it in back in its hat box. And it's the same, if I can say, for ladies. Obviously, ladies' hats can be, can I say, they're a lot more delicate, and obviously there's different ways of maintaining them. The safest option, as I said, is keep them well stored, and obviously somewhere that they're not going to get damaged. That's the best piece of advice, I think. Now, I'm just going to check your comments, because I don't want to be missing if anyone's asking any questions here. Top hats, so 1800s, they are 1800s. Someone just mentioned Remains of the Day. Saw that movie during lockdown. Great movie. Yes, Annie loves hats. So, hat etiquette. I want to quickly talk to you about hat etiquette. Did you know there's such a thing as hat etiquette? So here's the traditional rules, and whether you go with them or not, it's entirely up to you. Traditionally, a gentleman would never wear a hat indoors. So he would wear it as soon as he goes out, but when he comes in, he removes the hat. And that still applies today to top hats, bowler hats, dare I say, baseball hats. Any kind of hat should be removed when you go into your home or somebody else's home. You shouldn't wear them inside. Now, ladies, it's very different. For a lady, they can wear hats indoors. So if a lady wants to wear, say she goes to visit a friend, or even goes to the Ritz for tea, she can keep her hat on. This is something the ladies keep asking me. They say, can we keep hats on? Yes, you can. You absolutely can keep your hats on until, and do you know what time you can keep them on? I'm just going to see if anyone knows, actually. Does anyone know how long a lady can keep her hats on? Oh, and very quick, that's a good point. Susanna saying that cowboys should remove them when sitting in the front rows. anyone should, if you're if a gentleman's, again, indoors, theatre, cinemas, they should remove them. Sometimes I've noticed at Wimbledon, they've asked ladies in the royal box to remove hats so that you're not obstructing the view of people behind, which is a very modern thing. But I suppose it kind of makes sense. The problem is if you spent, I was going to say hours, if you spent ages getting the hat on, of course it can be a little bit tricky then suddenly having to try to remove it and then put it back on. So it's worth just obviously you've got to go with those rules, but traditionally a lady can keep a hat on. And Rosa has quite rightly said, and Charlie, 6 p.m. So a lady can keep her hat on until 6 p.m. and then no longer do they wear hats indoors. Do you know why? The next question, do you know why they don't wear hats indoors after 6 p.m? Does anyone know why you don't wear hats indoors after 6 p.m. for a lady? Is there any idea? Annie's put until dinner. Nope, as I said, 6 o'clock's when you take them out. I'm going to come back to Gracie's question because I like that. I'm going to quickly come back to that in a second. I'm just asking, does anyone know why ladies can wear hats until 6 p.m? Gordon, I don't think they're too busy drinking. I think you're going to cause a revolution on here if you say that the ladies are too busy drinking. Susanna, spot on. Tiaras. So ladies from 6 o'clock could wear a tiara. So, but only married ladies. Here's the other thing. Not single ladies. All the single ladies, I'm not going to start singing, don't worry. All the single ladies would not wear tiaras because it showed that they were not taken. And the married ladies would wear tiaras because obviously they would be presented one or be given one on the day of the wedding, and then they could wear it for all the kind of social events, evening events thereafter. So that's why tiaras are then worn after 6 p.m. So it's hats until 6, then tiaras after. Gentlemen, for us, when it comes to hats, obviously you would wear hats actually if you were going to, at one time, if you were going to an evening event, you'd wear a top hat, possibly, but once again, you'd remove it when you go indoors. And gentlemen, I think it's safe to say that most of us, and I'll say most of us, it's 21st century, most of us wouldn't wear tiaras. But if we do want to wear a tiara, and of course we're more than entitled to, if you wish to wear a tiara, then a gentleman, you'd be looking at after 6 p.m. I think even Dame Edna Everidge would agree with this advice. I'll need to give her a call to check, but I think she would agree with this advice. And there we go. So there's a little bit about hat etiquette, and you've even had tiaras thrown in there as well. I don't know if any of you've got tiaras. It'd be such a shame I can't get you to share pictures of you wearing tiaras or your hats. It'd be such a fun thing to see. Right, I'm now going to ask if you've got any questions. One question I did like is Grace said that, do you feel traditional etiquette rules with aristocracy are still relevant today? What do you think the ultimate purpose of etiquette? So etiquette was originally, it's a set of rules. It was to keep people right. That was the whole point. Historically, people go back to Louis XIV. It was much further before Louis XIV, but he had a set of rules of how to behave for everything in his person. You had to act and behave a certain way. You couldn't even walk in his grass. That's apparently where it all began, because of the grass. So we can blame the gardeners. Do I think they're relevant? Yes, I do think they're relevant. I think there's a lot that's outdated, so don't get me wrong. I think that a lot of them, sadly, I say sadly because some of them are fun. I think sadly some of them are no longer, cannot be enforced. And it's the modern era. So I think etiquette is important because it's all about making people feel comfortable with a set of rules to kind of guide society and manners. So I think it's quite good if we understand and know them. Like I've just obviously told you about the hat etiquette. It's kind of irrelevant, but isn't it quite fun to know about it? And if you then wanted to have a go at wearing a hat or wearing a tiara, then you kind of know the timings and the rules. So I think it's always a bit of fun. C has said, are classic hat styles accepted or viewed as eccentric? It's a funny one. Again, it goes back to what was it Grace was saying about the aristocracy. The aristocracy still do things a very traditional way. I've observed it, and things are done the way they were done I'll quickly point out, not like Downton Abbey at all, but certain traditions are still upheld. We've still got certain things that they do, certain things that they wear, even the royal family. And you can see that with the social calendar. Normally, obviously, when we're not in lockdown and obviously got this awful COVID virus, in normal times, there is obviously a social calendar. And these kind of events and things that take place, I think they're fun. It makes Britain unique. I think every country's got their own uniqueness, and I think it's fun that we all have these little kind of rules or traditions. And every country's got one. I know people have said to me, I've got American clients that say, is it bad that we swap the fork into the other hand? No, it's not, because it's your rules, it's your way of doing things, and it's important. And I think people shouldn't feel that they have to change or behave a different way for someone else. It's not about that. It's more just a set of rules so that if I came over to the States, I'm fully aware that it's accepted to swap the fork into the other hand. Just to give you an example. I think we need to find a reason to wear that again. That's fun. I assume you're talking about the hats, maybe. I think. Annie's put she wears hats to control her curly hair. I'm sure you've got gorgeous hair. I'm sure it's fabulous. I don't know what you're talking about, but still, I'm sure you look equally fabulous when you wear a hat. Hello to TP Fashions, who I've obviously interacted with over the last. How many episodes? Is this 55? I've lost track. Is this 54 or 55? Anyway, of all the episodes we've done, it's been great kind of building up this, as I said, this community. TP said, I'm under the impression that one of the main reasons for etiquette is for consideration of those around oneself. Exactly. It is a bit consideration for others. It's about, as people kind of say, it's about thinking more of others, make others comfortable and feel relaxed. Actually, I think that's the kind of that's kind of what it's supposed to symbolise today. But as I said, a lot of the traditional rules are they're not really relevant, but I think they're fun. And those of you that follow me on my social media know that I do post a lot of outdated and old etiquette rules, and it's not kind of saying that's how it's to be. It's just it's just a bit of fun, really. It's just to show people how etiquette has evolved. Gordon's put new tradition. Women wear hats at church in support of other women going through chemo. I mean, that's a lovely idea. I remember, I'm not that old, hopefully I can say that, but I remember my mother and my grandmother always wore hats when they went to church. It was something that they did. And even now, you still see certain ladies, when I've been to church, you'll see ladies of a certain age will still wear hats. And I think it's quite nice. I think it's a tradition that really should come back. A lot of people think, oh, I can't wear a hat. And then you obviously see aristocracy and royals wearing hats. Anyone can wear hats. That's the reality. Anyone can wear hats. So I don't think it should just be a set group of people that are able to do it. Kentucky Derby. Well, there's a thing. I must confess, I've never actually watched the Kentucky Derby. So, do they wear hats there? Is that something they do? Is it a bit like Royal Ascot? I'm on the right waves there. Is it similar to Royal Ascot? I read somewhere, I've read somewhere that the word etiquette comes from the old French etiquette, meaning ticket. Absolutely, you're spot on. Patrick Fenn, small cards and instructions of how to behave properly at court. You're absolutely spot on. Etiquette is label or tag, that's what it translates into French, and it's a set of kind of rules or regulations as to how to do things. And what it kind of goes back to is that Louis XIV's gardener used to put signs on his grass saying, keep off the grass. I love this, keep off the grass. Now, I have a connection because as a youngster, when I used to cut the grass at my parents' home, and I'm talking about when I was about 12, 13, 14, I used to put signs on the grass saying, keep off the grass. I think I have I've obviously got royal blood somewhere. There's a royal bloodline there. And obviously that's what kind of made me do that, put those signs out. Susanna's just put gloves too. Gloves are very important. And I'm glad you mentioned that because I almost forgot to say gloves are quite important just now. People have said to me, why does the Queen wear gloves? Quite simply, it's an old tradition, hats and gloves, but also it's a great way of keeping germs at bay, which is obviously the Queen at her grand age has to be very careful. And with everything going on just now, I've noticed people starting to wear gloves again. I had somebody actually ask me if it's acceptable to wear gloves in the day. Absolutely. I mean, we can all wear gloves, gentlemen and ladies, and there's different rules about colours of gloves and how to wear them and when to take them off. At the moment, can we just forget about all those rules? It doesn't matter. If you've got a nice pair of gloves, you're comfortable wearing them, wear them when you're out and about. The only thing is, try to remember you've got the gloves on and don't scratch the face and don't suddenly put it over your mouth or something silly. They're obviously there to protect you. And if you do take them off, there's obviously right ways of taking them off, and it's a bit difficult to explain because I haven't got gloves on, but there is a couple of videos out there just now with doctors or nurses showing you how to take gloves. It's more the kind of plastic disposable gloves, but they show you how to take them off. And it's the same principle that when you get home, obviously take them off as best you can and then just wash your hands. But I think that that's something that really should be making a comeback right now, and it's a great opportunity to get those gloves out and get them back on. I've got a wonderful pair of brown leather gloves that belonged to my late father, and I love wearing them. So it's a good excuse to put them back on, and I'm sure he'll be very pleased that I'm wearing them again. Just have a quick look through some of more of the comments. Loose connection. Oh, I don't know if the connection might have gone. Someone's mentioned the connection. I hope you can all hear me and you can all see me. Annie's just put, Debbie, I don't wear outlandish hats you see at fashion shows. Most of the hats I love. Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, it's a personal choice. I'm not going to advise ladies what you should and shouldn't wear. Obviously, it's a personal thing as to what you feel comfortable with it. But if you like something and you enjoy wearing it, wear it. Enjoy it. Don't worry about what other people say. And it'd be wrong for somebody to tell someone else that what they're wearing is as long as it's appropriate. It'd be wrong to kind of say, oh, that's not nice. Because again, you don't lie within the world of etiquette, but about being polite, you're not supposed to say to somebody, that hat looks like something it's come out the back of a skip. So if you think it looks quite bad, just smile and, just kind of give a pleasant nod or something if you don't want to say anything. So there's ways of doing it. I'm a master at when it comes to these kind of etiquette things. And then Susanna's just put, I remember wearing hats and gloves as a child to church and such. I love that. I think that was such a good idea. Right, I think I'm going to stop there because yesterday we did have a bit of a marathon because of the connection problems. And as I said, I'm aware I don't want to keep people here for too long. I hope you've enjoyed today. Have you enjoyed today? I'm just going to look down again. I hope you've enjoyed this conversation on hats and I suppose party and gloves. Keep liking. I know I keep asking. Please keep liking. Please keep sharing. Please keep commenting because we do take on board what you're saying. The kind of what you're kind of putting across as to what you'd like to see because it gives me ideas. I look at them every night. And somebody suggested hats, and I thought, why not? Let's do hats. If there's not material, of course I can come up with other things we can do. But I just think it's an opportunity for you to ask the questions, or if there's things you want to see, let me know, and I'll do my best to show them. And I haven't forgot what I said the other day about getting other guests to come in and join us via the link of the television. Is it Zoom or Skype? So I am looking at that as another little fun option in between. And let's not forget, we have got the Royal Dachshunds. They are all behind this camera. Literally, I can see 3 of them sleeping. And Shumba is still, I'm just going to quickly show you Shumba because he's very much still here. Here's Shumba. There we go. So he's still sitting on my lap. He's just been sleeping, so I've just woke him up. Have I woke you up? Yeah, look at this face. This is the face. This is displeasure. This is unhappy. This is where I'm gonna get a wage cut. I tell you now, this is serious because that look he's given me. Are you okay? Yes. Do you want your glass of port? Is it time for your evening glass of port or sherry? Yes. Or do you want? Look, the eyes just say it all, don't they? Those of you who've got Dachshunds, you know exactly what I'm talking about. These are the real bosses. These people are the ones that. These little guys definitely keep us right. But anyway, he's gonna, in a few seconds, I'm gonna have to obviously go and sort out his evening drinks. They're saying good evening, Shumba. Somebody's just said good evening to you. He's just laid back down. He's obviously so excited at this. He's decided to have another rest. I'll probably let him polish his Oscar, as you've noticed that. I'll probably let him polish his Oscar in a little while, and that keeps him happy. That keeps us going. A napkin hat. Yes, Shimba, as we know, Shimba's very good at the napkin hats. He's the, aren't you, the master. You're the master of napkin hats. I look like I'm just talking to myself, don't I, when I look down here? But unfortunately, I can't move the camera. As I said, I'm doing this all myself. But here we go. So yeah, he's still there. So we will see you tomorrow. If this is still, you're still enjoying this and you're happy for another live quarantine etiquette, we'll do another one tomorrow night. I'll have a little think about what we can do in the meantime. But as I said, please keep liking, sharing, subscribing, setting your reminders so you remember to come back. And what I'm going to do, oh, there we go, as the clock strikes 6:30, it is definitely time for me to prepare the evening drinks. But what I'm going to do in the meantime is I will let this video play out for a little bit longer, and then I will end the stream. I hope you all have a fabulous day, evening, whatever you're doing. I'm sure most of you in lockdown. Stay safe, and as I said, I will see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock London time. Live from, well, I'm not quite in London, I'm outside London, but I love saying live from London. Sounds very grand. It's actually the Cotswolds. Still sounds quite grand, doesn't it? Live from the Cotswolds. Sounds very kind of, very special. Anyway, as I said, stay safe and see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock, and I'll let you watch the rest, or a little bit more of the royal wedding from 2 years ago. Can't believe that, 2 years. Okay, take care.